Hi, my name is Tyas Fitria Savira and I would like to share some research on how language learning strategies improve student language skill. This day, learning is more student-centered, so the student is more involved on the learning and the teacher becomes the facilitator. To do that, the student must know the strategies before the student work on their skill. The teacher must introduce the strategies to the pupils. So after the pupils know about the strategies and learn on how to use it, they will work on it so they can make the full use of it. Without that, the student may stuck on their level. So I will share some research that tell about and talk about language learning strategies. The first research is student learning strategies for developing speaking ability. This research is aiming to find the variety of language learning strategies that used by high-level and low-level proficient students on developing their speaking skill. The researcher of this research did it in one of senior high school in Banda Aceh with 16 participants using SIL questionnaire and in an interview. And the outcome of this research is high-level proficient students tend to use more variety of language learning strategies. They use cognitive, memory, and compensation strategies. For low-level proficient students, they only use social and compensation strategies, and the research tell that the low-level student is not make a full use of the strategies. However, this research is lack of participant, but it can help the teacher to introduce more about language learning strategies to the students, so they will know the variety and pick that's suitable for them. The second research is improving reading skill through effective reading strategies. The researcher wanted to find the effectiveness of reading strategy on student reading ability with 6 techniques. The first thing that the researcher do is introducing the strategies to the student. While working on the research, the researcher find out that the student is lack of reading strategies because they cannot put the strategies well. And during the research, the researcher keep the track and the change of student ability before and after the strategies is applied, connecting to the low interest reading in Indonesia. These strategies can be applied. However, future study should be done because the difference of demography and student characteristic in Indonesia. The third research is metacognitive strategies awareness and success in learning English. Looking at student concern that they cannot learn in a fun way, metacognitive strategies can be the answer because the student will design, control, and judge their learning. With that, the student will set their aims and the student can see the track record of their learning. With that, the student will see what they are lacking and what advantages that they have on language learning. And the more strategies that they use, they will get a better know about the language learning. But they have to make sure that they know the detail of it so they can make the full use of it. This research was aiming to find the variety of language learning strategies that used by high-level proficient student and low-level proficient student on developing their speaking skill. This researcher of this research did it in one of senior high school in Banda Aceh with 16 participants using sealed questionnaire and an interview. This research shows that the high-level students tend to use more variety of language learning strategies, cognitive, memory, and compensation. And for the low-level student, they use social and compensation strategies. However, this research is lack of participant, but it can help the teacher on introducing more variety of language learning strategies to their student, and the student can explore more and pick the suitable one for them. The next research is measuring the effectiveness of memorize on high school student perception of learning EFL. This research involved 36 participants. They get split into two groups and have to use Memorize application. Memorize application is language learning tools that promote autonomous learning. And the outcome of this research shows that more than half participants favor over direct instruction. Memorize is useful tools. However, the lack of option in first language is the problem. So when Indonesians want to learn English there, you cannot find that option. So you have to put others language like Chinese to English. The next research is learning strategies to develop speaking skill that conduct in Man Karanggede. The participant of this research is two pupils from Man Karanggede. They shows that the medium to high use of compassion strategies and the low use of social strategies. But since it only shows two pupils, the research is conducted by doing an observation and documentation. Maybe future studies on it can be conducted or with large number of participants. The last research that we will talk about is a study on listening strategies instructed by teacher and strategists. The participants of this research were 175 non-English major students and 35 English lecturers. The researcher wanted to find the listening strategies that they use, and it shows that the high frequency use of cognitive for the student and metacognitive strategies for the lecturer. However, further study must be done for this topic because the researchers must know about the progress, what factor that involve on their decision making on choosing the strategies, and the result on the application of the learning strategies. To sum up, knowing many varieties of learning strategy will help the learners to explore more about themselves and work up on their ability, as they can see what they are lacking and their strength. Technology may help them too, so we can leave that out. And many factors may affect their ability, like gender, age, preference, motivation. So it depends on the learner. So learning strategies, they may use same strategies, but the result may be different for each learner. And further studies should be done on this topic because there are not many research that talk about this kind of topic. Thank you.